Welcome back to Convergence with Karen Holton, episode 10 on People for People Radio. Find out how the personal is political as we explore the politics here on Earth, the exopolitics of our galaxy, and how these intersect with spiritual transformation through my unique perspective. You will also find the complete course on my website at www.karenholtonhealthcoach.com. Quantum Health Transformation Step 6 Yellow, Detoxify and the Power of Emotion. Part 1, External Detoxification. You might be wondering, why is detoxification so important? Well, in truth, lack of awareness, accountability, and compassion, combined with sheer economic greed, has contributed to the glut of toxic man-made chemicals that flood our world with products that directly influence physical and mental health, fertility, and genetics. I believe that our elected officials and regulatory bodies are using the situation to further their plans for depopulation and to create a huge consumer base for the pharmaceutical and medical industry. Wake up! There is a war against the human population of Earth. Here are some suggestions for self-defense. There are 3 layers of detoxification to consider: external detoxification, internal detoxification, and emotional detoxification and the power of emotion. Today, I'll be talking about Part 1, External Detoxification. We must stop poisoning ourselves. Everything we use on our skin, in our mouths, on our hair, etc., is absorbed into our physical bodies because 20% of our blood is flowing through our skin. If you apply chemicals to your skin and body, you may become sick and will very likely become obese. In an effort to maintain health, your body will develop fat tissue in order to isolate the absorbed synthetic chemicals, which are toxic to your body and mind. Synthetic chemicals can also cause dis-ease. Common toxic chemicals found in personal care products are called obesogens because they cause you to become obese. Your body sees them as a threat, and so must store them away in fat cells in an effort to protect your health. Well, it's time to empty your toxic storage sites. Only 100% unadulterated botanical products should be used on your body. These must be food grade. We are integrated beings who are dependent on this planet and the bounty that she produces. Please reconsider the personal care and household cleaning products you use, as well as the fabrics that you wear. The first step to detoxification is to stop poisoning yourself. Here's a partial list of toxic chemicals commonly found in personal care products, and this was taken from an article called Revive, Stop Feeling Spent and Start Living Again, 2009, by Dr. Frank Lipman. So we'll start with, and I may have trouble pronouncing some of these, but I'll do my best. So we'll start with DEA, or diphenylamine, MEA, or monoethanolamine, TEA, or triethanolamine. These 3 chemicals are hormone-disrupting chemicals that can form cancer-causing agents. Research indicates a strong link to liver and kidney cancer. They are commonly found in shampoos, soaps, bubble baths, and facial cleansers. Next, we have phthalates and parabens. They were banned by the European Union in 2003. Phthalates and parabens are a group of chemicals commonly used as preservatives in cosmetics and pharmaceuticals. They keep hairsprays sticky and bacteria and fungus out of things like nail polish and perfume. Both have demonstrated themselves to be carcinogenic and particularly linked to breast cancer. F, D, and C color pigments. Most F, D, and C color pigments are made from coal tar, and studies show that almost all of them are carcinogenic. Many of these pigments cause skin sensitivity and irritation, or even oxygen depletion in the blood. FD&C red number 4 is no longer available in the US for use in foods because of a known threat to the adrenal glands and urinary bladder. But products imported from many other countries do not have the same prohibitive regulations. Fragrance. Fragrance is a euphemism for nearly 4,000 different ingredients. Most fragrances are synthetic and are either cancer-causing or otherwise toxic. Exposure to fragrances has been shown to affect the central nervous system. Fragrances are found in most shampoos, deodorants, sunscreens, skincare, and body care products. Oh boy, this one's a mouthful. Imidazolidinylurea and DMDM hydantoin. These are formaldehyde donors, derivatives of formaldehyde. This is what scientists and morticians use to preserve corpses and body parts. These chemicals are linked to allergies, chest pain, chronic fatigue, depression, dizziness, ear infections, headaches, joint pain, loss of sleep, and can trigger asthma. They can weaken the immune system and cause cancer. Imidazolidinylurea and DMDM hydantoin are used in skin, body, and hair products, antiperspirants, and nail polish. Next, we have quaternium-15. Quaternium-15 commonly causes allergic reactions and dermatitis and breaks down into formaldehyde. Quaternium-15 is used as a preservative in many skin and hair care products. Isopropyl alcohol. Isopropyl alcohol is used in hand sanitizer, hair color rinses, body rubs, hand lotion, and aftershave lotions. Scientists believe that it has the ability to destroy intestinal flora, leaving the body's major organs open to parasites and thus to cancers. Beyond attacking the intestinal flora, isopropyl alcohol can cause liver problems, headaches, dizziness, mental depression, nausea, vomiting, and coma. And then there's mineral oil. Mineral oil is a petrolatum derivative that coats the skin like saran wrap, which prevents the skin from breathing, absorbing, and excreting. It also slows down the skin's natural cell development, causing premature aging. Note that baby oil is 100% mineral oil and 100% bad for your baby's sensitive skin. Next, we have PEG, also known as polyethylene glycol. PEGs are most commonly used in spray-on oven cleaners and in many hair and skin products. PEG's main functions are to dissolve oil and grease. Thus, on the body, they take the protective oils off the skin and hair, making them more vulnerable to other toxins. Propylene glycol. Propylene glycol is the active ingredient in antifreeze. It is also used in makeup, toothpaste, and deodorant. Stick deodorants have a higher concentration of PG than is allowed for most industrial use. Direct contact can cause brain, liver, and kidney abnormalities. The EPA requires workers to wear protective gloves, clothing, and goggles when working with it. And yet the FDA says we can put it in our mouths. Sodium lauryl sulfate and sodium lauryl sulfate, also known as SLS. Sodium lauryl sulfate and sodium lauryl sulfate are the most toxic ingredients on this list. When used in combination with other chemicals, they can form nitrosamines a deadly class of carcinogen. They are used to clean engines, garage floors, and used at car washes. And still the most popular ingredients for makeup, shampoo, conditioner, and toothpaste. Exposure causes eye damage, depression, diarrhea, and many other ailments. And on a personal note, SLS caused me to suffer severe, prolonged migraine headaches. And I had them for years, and I took so much pain medication, it was terrible. And that caused other problems. And it was actually in my shampoo and my toothpaste. And when I changed products, I no longer needed the pain pills because the headaches went away. Next, we have Triclosan, a synthetic antibacterial ingredient that has been compared to Agent Orange. The Environmental Protection Agency registers it as a pesticide, highly toxic to any living organism. It is also classified as a chlorophenol, a class of cancer-causing chemicals. Triclosan disrupts hormones, can affect sexual function and fertility, and may foster birth defects. Triclosan has been linked to paralysis, suppression of the immune system, brain hemorrhages, and heart problems. It is widely used in antibacterial cleansers, toothpaste, and in many household products. Talc. Talc has been linked to ovarian and testicular cancer. It can be found in makeup, baby and adult powders, and foundation. Recently, aluminum has been found in Johnson & Johnson's brand baby powder, and the company knew about this and continued to sell the contaminated products. Petrolatum. Petrolatum is a petrochemical that contains two well-known carcinogens, benzoaperine and benzobifluoranthene. As you might imagine, from a petroleum derivative, petrolatum prevents the skin from breathing and excreting. Consider some alternatives. Read every label. Save your health and your money by switching to healthy alternative products, including ones that you can make at home with minimal effort. I used to use Dr. Bronner's magic soap to clean my hair and my body until they reformulated it with palm oil instead of hemp oil. It is still a safe and healthy soap to use, and Emanuel Bronner's urgent message to realize our transcendent unity across religious and ethnic divides is still a great read on every bottle. Today, however, I use soaps from Neza Naturals in Victoria, BC, and yes, they do deliver. Both brands of soap are concentrated, and once diluted, they last a very long time. Both brands are very economical to use. In addition to being a very good product, the messages found on every Dr. Bronner's soap bottle add something very beneficial to the quality of the soap itself, much the same way as messages in music have been proven to affect the structure of water, as discovered by Dr. Masaru Emoto. Please note that I am in no way paid for any endorsement found in this video. The links to find all of these products online can be found below in the description box of the replay version of this show on my YouTube channel. I highly recommend you buy the PDF version of this lesson so that you will have the transcript and all of the links which are embedded for easy access. You can find all of the PDFs on my website under the Shop tab, and I am charging $3.99 Canadian for each one, just so you know. Further along in this video, I will include some simple recipes for the homemade healthy shampoo, body wash, detoxifying bath soak, antibacterial soap with essential oils, natural hand sanitizer, and the face and body oil that I personally make and use myself. But first, I'd like to introduce you to two other products that work wonders. thieves oil, and essential oil. Thieves oil. My favorite is Marseille's Remedy. I've been using Marseille's Remedy Thieves oil with great success for many years. Marseille's Remedy is my favorite. It's 100% organic and it's easy to find locally at health food stores, or you can simply order it online. For an excellent insect repellent or bug bite soother, just mix several drops of Marseille's Remedy Thieves oil with 100% natural organic fruit or vegetable oil and apply it to the body. Marseille's Remedy is a traditional thieves oil blend that has been in use around the world for hundreds of years. Legend has it that in 1413, as the bubonic plague decimated France, 4 thieves were arrested for robbing dead and dying plague victims, and that was a crime punishable by burning alive. The judge offered them leniency for their terrible crimes if they would share the secret, which enabled them to expose themselves to the plague without contracting it. The thieves explained that they were perfume makers and spice merchants who were unemployed due to the closure of France's seaports. They had prepared a special mixture of essential oils, which they applied to their hands, ears, feet, masks, and temples, and this protected them from infection. As promised, the judge did not burn the men alive. He hanged them instead. History shows that soon after, plague doctors began to wear beak-like masks stuffed with absorbent material that had been soaked in thieves' oil to protect them from disease. Today, there are literally hundreds of uses for a traditional thieves' oil, and there's a wealth of information stating its effectiveness in a wide range of applications. I use it all of the time as a safe alternative to chemical and antifungal disinfectants. Marseille's Remedy can be used in the same manner as oregano and tea tree oil as a preventative aid and immune system booster. It even kills mold. You can use it as a hand sanitizer. It clears phlegm and congested airways. It increases immunity. It relieves inflammation due to topical infections. It eliminates airborne pathogens and foul odors. It is an effective fungicide, good for the feet, hands, head, and airborne. It aids the prevention and elimination of oral fungal infections and candida yeast. It deters mites, lice, worms, and fleas. To prevent me from catching a virus, I like to add about 9 drops of Marseille's Remedy Thieves Oil into an all-purpose natural ointment base, like 100% Rescue Salve by Healing Bliss Botanicals. I add about 9 to 12 drops to the jar and then rub a little salve onto my hands, inside my ears, and around my mouth and nose before I go out in public. So far, so good. Some additional uses for Marseille's Remedy Thieves Oil. You can use it to prevent infection and to promote healing. It's good for a sore throat. Just mix with a tablespoon of water, gargle and swallow. For bronchitis, add some to oil and apply to the upper chest and throat. For a headache, put a drop on your thumb and apply it to the roof of your mouth. Protection from colds and flu, put a couple drops directly on the soles of your feet. For germs, diffuse Marseille's Remedy Thieves Oil in your home. For lung congestion, just breathe in the vapors. As a cleaner for dishes, clothes, and floors, add several drops to the wash water. Repel insects on your flowers and plants. Mix 8 to 12 drops with 4 ounces of water in a spray bottle and apply. For bee and wasp stings, apply directly to neutralize the toxin and relieve pain. To treat gum disease and toothaches, apply to gums and teeth. I add it to my coconut oil for oil pulling. Maintain healthy teeth and reduce cavities, just apply it orally. Solve mold problems. Diffuse in the affected room 15 to 30 minutes daily. To reduce phlegm and congestion, add 1 drop to juice and drink. For pain relief and faster healing, add to an edible oil and apply to ailing bones or joints. To help stop smoking, put a drop on the tip of your tongue. For cold and canker sores, dilute in edible oil and apply directly. And to maintain health, put a drop in your cup of tea for flavor. I would also like to recommend Divine Essence Organic Essential Oils. They are pure and very effective. I am extremely chemical sensitive, but my body responds well to these phenomenal products, which are non-toxic and easy to find at the local health food store or health market or even online. All of the links to find these products online will be below in the description box. So now it's time for me to share the recipes that I promised you. We'll start with the homemade healthy shampoo body wash. Fill 1/4 to 1/3 of a plastic but BPA-free squeezable bottle or glass or ceramic pump dispenser with Neza Naturals or Dr. Bronner's soap. Fill to the top with filtered water and shake gently to combine. Use as you would any shampoo or body wash. This healthy shampoo body wash will not dry out your skin as it creates a lush, creamy lather that rinses away clean. Remember not to exfoliate more than once a week, as we need those layers to protect us from the sun and environmental damage. Also, if you gather your vitamin D from sunshine, remember that it takes 24 hours after exposure for your body to process and absorb the vitamin D into your skin. For a soothing and detoxifying bath soak, add Epsom salts, sea salt, baking soda, and clay to your bath, as much as you want, and soak for at least half hour. Learn more about the benefits of taking a therapeutic bath in Convergence Episode 9. Homemade antibacterial hand soap with essential oils. Although the soaps mentioned in this presentation have antibacterial properties on their own, Marseille's Remedy Thieves Oil Blend contains additional antibacterial properties. They will not interfere with the body's natural functions because they do not contain synthetic chemicals of any kind. Divine Essence essential oils are also pure and organic. Homemade antibacterial hand soaps with essential oils. You will need Neza Naturals or Dr. Bronner's Peppermint Magic Soap, 3 drops of Marseille Remedy Thieves Oil Blend, or 3 drops of Divine Essence lemon, lavender, or peppermint essential oil, some filtered water, and a foam hand soap dispenser or a pump dispenser. Depending on your preference, you can dispense this mixture as foam or liquid, depending on the kind of dispenser you use. If you can't find a foam dispenser, you can use one from a commercial soap, but make sure you wash it out really well first. Fill the soap dispenser 1/4 of the way with the recommended soap and add a few drops of Marseille's Remedy Thieves Oil or Divine Essence Essential Oil. Then fill up the dispenser with filtered water, shake it up initially, and from time to time if you notice some separation. And that's it. This is a really important item. I want to tell you about my homemade natural hand sanitizer. You will need 5 to 10 drops of Marseille's Remedy Thieves Oil, 30 drops of the recommended liquid soap, 1 tablespoon of witch hazel in grain alcohol base, or high-proof vodka. If you're going to use a gel dispenser, you will need 8 ounces of 100% pure aloe vera gel, or you will need 8 ounces of filtered water for use with a plastic but BPA-free spray dispenser bottle. Add the Marseille Remedy Thieves Oil and the soap to a glass or ceramic mug or bowl and swirl it to mix. Add the witch hazel or vodka and swirl again. Add this mixture to the aloe vera gel and mix well. Put into the gel dispenser and shake it gently before each use. Now, I personally prefer a spray, so I leave out the aloe vera gel and I just add the filtered water to the soap essential oil mixture. And I pour this into a plastic but BPA-free spray bottle, and I shake it before I spray. Now, this hand sanitizer recipe uses none of the harmful chemicals contained in commercially prepared hand sanitizers, and it relies on pure essential oils and grain alcohol to kill the germs. One of the unique qualities of using essential oils is that they do not cause bacterial resistance like antibacterial chemicals do, and are actually effective in killing strains of bacteria that have become resistant to our man-made medicines and chemicals. Sometimes it's good to allow our bodies to encounter germs to strengthen our immune system, but other times it's nice to have a hand sanitizer available. This gentle homemade formula is one of the best alternatives to commercial hand sanitizers that I have found. Next, we're going to move on to homemade face and body oil. Fill a glass or a ceramic pump dispenser with any cold-pressed, unadulterated, unrefined oil like grapeseed oil, apricot pit, olive, hemp oil, etc. Some food-grade oils are thicker than others, and I like to use a blended seed oil because it's economical and lighter to the touch. Add several drops of Divine Essence essential oil for aromatic and therapeutic effect, and then shake it up. That's it, and it's ready to use. Rose, lavender, or bergamot are very soothing. Lemon heals the skin, and peppermint is antiseptic. Coconut oil works well, but it needs to be heated slightly into a liquid state before adding and mixing in the essential oils. I recommend that you review Quantum Health Transformation Step 8 to learn more about grounding and the importance of self-massage. This is the ideal massage oil for daily grounding. And finally, I want to talk about the healthy facial. Add a very small squirt of diluted, all-natural liquid soap to a basin of water. Dip in a soft cotton washcloth. Then use it to wash your face and neck. Now spray your face and neck with Divine Essence floral water. Don't wipe it off. Gently pat your face and neck with your hands until you feel dewy fresh. And then apply a few drops of the face and body oil as described earlier. Massage gently until it's absorbed, and you will feel amazing. You will never go back to those commercial, high-priced beauty products. All those facial cleansers, creams, and moisturizers that they sell as beauty products are a complete waste of money, and most are toxic. Try the real thing and see how your body responds to this simple pleasure. Now, a word about deodorant. When we detoxify ourselves and we eat real food, and I'll be going more into that next week, we do not produce as much stink. Daily cleansing is usually good enough, and there are natural crystals to help out if necessary. Many people do not need deodorant at all, so consider improving your lifestyle and throw out your deodorant. And while we're on the subject, consider your clothing, especially underwear. Wear clothing made from natural fabrics as often as possible. Synthetics interfere with your subtle energy systems and can degrade when they get warm and sweaty, outgassing toxic chemicals. And then there's food storage containers. Consider glass. Think about everything you come in contact with to minimize your toxic exposure. We cannot live in a bubble, but harm reduction does make sense. And now I want to talk a little bit about household cleaning products. The first thing I want to say is please do not use Febreze or anything with fragrance. Febreze doesn't actually get rid of odors. It tricks your brain into thinking that the stink is gone. It paralyzes your brain neurons, which is definitely not good for you. If fragrance and Febreze make you feel sick, this is a good thing. Your brain and body are trying to protect you. Listen to this message. Don't fall for all the media hype. Pretty much everything in your home can be cleaned and sanitized using salt, vinegar, baking soda, and/or an all-natural liquid soap. Salt is the great purifier. Salt water will sterilize, and vinegar cuts through grime. You don't need synthetic chemicals to clean anything. Look into the alternatives like Norwex and save tons of money. You may want to switch to a plant-based laundry detergent and dish soap, which are natural source and contain no fragrance. Always use non-latex gloves when using any cleaning product to protect your skin. Now that you know how to stop poisoning yourself and have found ways to detoxify your external self, it's time to move on to Quantum Health Transformation Step 6, Part 2, Internal Detoxification. It is time that you know how to stop poisoning yourself internally. Everything you put in your mouth is absorbed into your physical system. Before introducing you to some healthful practices, I must warn you about the poisons you might be inadvertently ingesting. If you apply chemicals to your body, you will become sick and very likely obese, and the same is true if you ingest processed foods. You could develop fat tissue in order to isolate and deal with these food derivatives that are toxic to your body and your mind. Real food grows naturally when it's organic and wild. Generally, it will not have a product label. But once these foods have been processed, they are dead. And although they may carry some nutritional elements, they upset our delicate physiological balance. Now, I'm going to go into this in detail next week when I cover Quantum Health Transformation Step 5. But suffice to say, each piece of fruit, vegetable, nut, and seed is a perfect pre-packaged delivery system with the nutrients we need in order to enjoy health and sanity. So I want to give you a little bit of information about obesity research. Now, obesity research is done in a lab on fat mice. Since mice are not normally fat, the extra body weight is induced by feeding them food-like products which contain MSG. So I really recommend that you check this out on any search engine and type in MSG, obesity-induced mice, and see for yourself. Any synthetic additive used to preserve food and prolong shelf life is toxic, and the same is true about chemicals which are isolated from their natural source. Do some research, and I urge you to watch the movie called Hungry for Change. It exposes the shocking secrets that the diet, weight loss, and food industry don't want you to know about, and the deceptive strategies designed to keep you coming back for more. There are some other very informative documentaries that I also want to recommend at this point. They are called Food Matters, What's with Wheat, That Sugar Film, and The Magic Pill. I believe they are still available on Netflix and other streaming platforms. Find out what's keeping you from having the body and the health that you deserve, and how to escape the diet trap forever. My personal experience proves the information found in the movie called Hungry for Change is true. I lost 178 pounds after I corrected my diet. and I haven't had a weight problem since, and that was well over 10 years ago. Food-like products cause illness and obesity because they contain sugar, a drug that affects the brain like cocaine and is highly addictive. Food-like products also contain harmful fats like hydrogenated fats, cottonseed, canola, corn, and soy oils, and chemicals like MSG to keep you addicted so you keep buying the products over and over again. Food-like products lack nutrition and they cause cellular hunger. This leads to obesity and nutrient deficiency as people become overfed while starving to death at the same time. The obesity crisis is due to food-like products which contain chemicals that lie to us. Real foods, by contrast, boost the immune system, increase longevity, and are our natural way of eating. What we eat, drink, and think has a direct effect on our health. So why do we eat food-like products? Quite honestly, it's because they are artificially created to smell better, taste better, and have a longer shelf life. This combination maximizes the profit for the producer, but it causes decreased energy, cognitive fog, anxiety, and illness for the consumer. To assess your own level of addiction to food-like products, I challenge you to try eating only unprocessed real foods for 1 week to see if you experience chemical or sweetener withdrawal symptoms. And believe me, you will know when you experience them. How do food-like products cause addiction? Well, they contain chemical derivatives and refined isolated elements like sugar and other refined products, which become chemicals of addiction once they are digested. Everything processed from frozen ice to peanut butter is engineered to become addictive in order to maximize profits. Chemical derivatives like MSG and free glutamates enhance the flavor in 80% of all processed foods. MSG and other chemical additives excite the brain and trigger the body to produce fat. The truth about sugar and sweeteners. Soda pop and sweets will chemically cause you to initially feel happy, but when the effect wears off, they will leave you feeling empty because your body was expecting nutrients. So you eat another candy or piece of pie or drink another can of pop. What initially satisfies soon needs repeating, and you are now being manipulated by a marketing ploy. When a beverage or a food-like product contains the deadly combination of artificial sweetener and caffeine, it creates a very unique form of excitotoxin, which kills off brain cells, but gets them very excited first. You feel the effect of the brain excitement, but you are not aware of the brain cell death. Artificial sweeteners are in almost everything processed that you could consume, from frozen ice to meal replacement beverages. It is known to lead to cognitive problems, seizures, headaches, some cancers, weight gain, and carbohydrate cravings. These products are attractive because they are lower in calories, but this is a brilliant marketing ploy meant to keep you consuming. Food additives are engineered to addict you and for longer shelf life. The food companies realize that MSG, processed sugars, and artificial sweeteners are highly addictive. They learned this motto from the tobacco industry, and I quote, "If you addict a customer, you have product loyalty for life," unquote. Instead of nicotine, they use MSG, refined sugars like high fructose corn syrup, and artificial sweeteners that make us want it again and again and again. The cocaine-like effects of refined sugar and flour, which are food-like substances, kill more people than all the drugs on Earth combined. Science has produced over 75,000 synthetic chemicals since the 1940s. Know the nature of the trap. Watch the documentary called Hungry for Change. So I'm now going to give you a few of the ingredients that contain processed free glutamic acid, also known as MSG, so that when you're looking at the labels, you know what to look out for. Okay, glutamic acid, glutamate, monosodium glutamate, monopotassium glutamate, calcium glutamate, monoammonium glutamate, magnesium glutamate, natrium glutamate, yeast extract, anything hydrolyzed, any hydrolyzed protein, calcium caseinate, sodium caseinate, yeast food, yeast nutrient, autolyzed yeast, gelatin, textured protein, soy protein concentrate, soy protein isolate, whey protein concentrate, whey protein isolate, anything with the word protein in it, vestin, and Ajinomoto. And this information can be found at www.elephantjournal.com/sneaky names for MSG. Check your labels. So now that you know how to stop poisoning yourself, let's get back to detoxification. Detoxifying means to remove harmful chemicals and toxins from the body. Since our physical environment and most of our food supply is toxic, I believe that detoxifying is a fundamental component to a healthy lifestyle and not just something that we do once in a while or every springtime. Detoxification not only rids the body of harmful substances, it also improves the function of the liver, kidneys, intestinal tract, and skin, all of the elimination organs. It is an essential daily practice for people who are under stress, feel tired all the time, have low immunity to illness, allergies, headaches, dry itchy skin, increased mucus production, and poor concentration. You know, I often wonder how much of what we consider to be typical signs of aging, which might actually be caused by a lifetime buildup of toxins. Detoxification could easily be part of everyone's healthy lifestyle. So let's face it, we live in a toxic world. Every day we're inundated with harmful chemicals in our diet, lifestyle, the environment around us, as well as our own metabolism and the pharmaceutical medications that most people take. People consume food additives, colorings, flavorings, preservatives, waxes, and agrochemicals like fertilizers, growth enhancers, pesticides, and herbicide residues. According to the US EPA, 60% of all herbicides, 30% of all insecticides, and 90% of all fungicides cause cancer. Over 100,000 artificial chemicals are added to preserve food and give it longer shelf life. People are also exposed to atmospheric pollutants like chlorofluorocarbons, acid rain, industrial gases, exhaust fumes, and toxic metals like lead, aluminum, cadmium, and mercury. Detoxification is essential because it allows the body to naturally neutralize toxins and prepare them for elimination from the body through the liver, kidneys, bowels, lungs, and sweat glands. Although fasting has traditionally been part of detoxification, I do not recommend this or any quick, intense detox program. Think about it. After a lifetime of toxic accumulation, one could become very ill-feeling as a result of a rapid detox program. And that's because the toxins are flushed out into the blood, recirculate through the body on their way out. And so you have what they call a healing crisis, and you can definitely feel worse for a few days before you begin to feel better. And that's why I recommend a daily gentle detoxification plan. And that way you're always getting rid of those toxins every single day. So the first thing in the morning, I recommend that people drink a liter or more of filtered water. If you add fruit or vegetables to the water, this increases the detoxifying effect and helps to alkalize your body. Now we're going to get into pH next week when we talk about Quantum Health Transformation Step 5, which is going to be all about food. Also, consume some or all of the following foods, which will give you a good start to your daily detox program with minimal discomfort. To pull toxins out of your system, eat raw sea vegetables, also known as seaweeds, every day. Now, I personally do not find seaweeds in the natural state appealing, so I always buy it dried and ground up as fine as I can get it. I add a teaspoon of whichever type I can find, usually kelp, dulse, bladderwrack, and sometimes Irish moss, to about 1 cup of filtered water. Stir and let it sit for about 15 minutes so it gels slightly and is no longer gritty. Then drink it. It has a very mild flavor. Now, I want you to also be aware that sushi seaweed sheets are usually not suitable as they've been cooked at a very high heat and they're no longer raw. And in that way they lose their medicinal elements. And also the same is true for the little packages of ready-to-eat sheets. And also those little packages of ready-to-eat sheets, crispy little sheets, they're cooked in oils that are not healthy for you. Now, in contrast, the raw seaweeds that I like to take they contain iodine, which controls metabolism, alginate, which absorbs radioactive elements, heavy metals, and free radicals, fusoidin, which causes certain types of rapid-growing cancer cells to self-destruct, and they are polysaccharides, which prevent and treat cardiovascular diseases. They also boost the immune system, help to decrease high blood sugar and cholesterol levels, improve the function of the gastrointestinal tract, and improve the structure of hair and nails. Now, you may also want to stir 1 teaspoon of each of spirulina and chlorella to a full glass of water. I let this sit for about 15 minutes, and then I stir it again, and then I drink it. And this also has a very, very mild flavor. So here's a little bit of information about spirulina and chlorella that I found at www.detoxyourworld.com. Chlorella. Chlorella is a green unicellular freshwater algae that is rich in protein, vitamins, including vitamin B12, minerals, especially iron, amino and nucleic acids. Chlorella algae have high chlorophyll content that helps cleanse our blood and tissue, making it particularly useful for detoxification. Chlorella also contains an extremely strong concentration of alpha, beta, and gamma PPARs. Okay, I'll try to pronounce this. Peroxisome proliferator activated receptors, PPARs, which are known to regulate our metabolism, strengthen our immune system, and promote general all-round good health. The large quantities of DNA and RNA nucleic acids found in chlorella can actively help delay our body's aging process. Chlorella can be purchased in either tablet or powder form. The powder can be stirred into all of your favorite smoothies, shakes, green juices, whatever, to provide a powerful boost of nutrients. Spirulina. Spirulina is a blue-green unicellular freshwater algae packed with fiber, protein, vitamins, including vitamins A, B1, B2, B6, and K, essential minerals, including iron, calcium, and magnesium, trace minerals, essential fatty acids, nucleic acids, both RNA and DNA, polysaccharides, and antioxidants. Now, the Aztecs reputedly supplied spirulina to their warriors to increase their strength and endurance, and it is perhaps best known for its potent immune-boosting properties. Spirulina also contains ingredients that help combat free radicals and prevent our cells from aging. Beta-carotene, vitamin E, gamma-linoleic acid or GLA, and superoxide dismutase or SOD. It's low in calories and it is a complete source of protein. Spirulina has recently been linked to demonstrable weight loss. Chlorella and spirulina are both unicellular freshwater algae, but here are some key differences. Excuse me. Chlorella is a green algae, which means that it typically boasts around 10 times more chlorophyll than spirulina and makes it better for detox purposes. Chlorella contains more iron than spirulina. Chlorella contains a special growth factor which can help repair damage to nerve tissue and is ideal for those with degenerative brain and nerve disorders. Chlorella features a true nucleus unlike spirulina. Spirulina is a blue-green algae that is thousands of years older than chlorella. Spirulina contains more protein than chlorella. On average, spirulina contains 12 times more protein than beef. Spirulina is a better source of GLA, gamma-linoleic acid, a good fat that is essential for healthy brain and heart function. Spirulina contains higher concentrations of phycocyanin, a phytochemical that can help prevent cancer and gives spirulina its special blue tint. So the next food item I want to recommend are chia seeds. You may also try eating 2 tablespoons of chia seeds every day. You may add them to 12 ounces of almond milk or other flavorful beverage and stir them while they plump out. Then I let them sit for at least an hour to completely soften before I drink them up. They have no flavor, but they will take on the flavor of whatever you add them to. So, for instance, you can make chocolate pudding out of a healthy type of chocolate milk by adding chia seeds. Or you could add them to crushed berries and it literally turns into jam. These tiny superfood seeds are a great source of healthy omega-3 fats and fiber, and it's very easy to add them to your diet. Just add 2 tablespoons to a glass of juice, milk, or smoothie. Stir regularly and allow it time to thicken before eating. The positive health effects from eating chia seeds include more energy, stable blood sugar, comfortable digestion, and lower cholesterol. And now I want to talk about one more thing that's really important, and it's also a really important part of detoxification, and that is maintaining adequate gut flora. Gut flora is a complex combination of microorganism species that live in the digestive tracts of animals. It gleans energy from the fermentation of undigested carbohydrates and absorption of short-chain fatty acids. Intestinal bacteria also play a role in synthesizing vitamin B and vitamin K, as well as metabolizing bile acids, sterols, drugs such as antibiotics, and pollutants. According to Wikipedia, the human body carries about 100 trillion microorganisms in its intestines, a number 10 times greater than the total number of human cells in the body. Research suggests that the relationship between gut flora and healthy humans is a symbiotic relationship. Gut bacteria aids in digestion, stimulating cell growth, repressing the growth of harmful microorganisms, training the immune system to respond only to pathogens, and defending against some diseases, And of course, gut flora also helps you to prevent flatulence. Gut flora helps the body to absorb essential dietary minerals such as calcium, magnesium, and iron. Gases and organic acids such as lactic acid are also produced by fermentation. Acetic acid is used by muscle. Propionic acid helps the liver produce ATP, and butyric acid provides energy to gut cells and may prevent cancer. Beneficial flora increase the gut's absorption of water, reduce counts of damaging bacteria, increase growth of human gut cells, and stimulate growth of indigenous bacteria. It even prevents species that would harm the host from colonizing the gut through an activity termed as the barrier effect. So, harmful yeasts and bacteria species are unable to grow excessively due to competition from helpful gut flora species adhering to the mucosal lining of the intestine. Thus, people without gut flora are infected very easily. The process of fermentation, since it produces lactic acid and different fatty acids, also serves to lower the pH in the colon, preventing the proliferation of harmful species of bacteria and facilitating that of the healthful species. This pH may also enhance the excretion of carcinogens. Gut flora have a continuous and dynamic effect on the host's gut and systemic immune systems. So you may wish to eat live raw sauerkraut. It's loaded with beneficial bacteria and probiotics to help replenish gut flora. It also provides many important enzymes needed for complete digestion. So raw sauerkraut, there's kimchi, pretty much any kind of vegetables that have been fermented will supply what you need. So that'll give you something to look up. This concludes Step 6, Parts 1 and 2. Now you know how to stop toxifying yourself, and you found ways to detoxify your internal and external cells. Next week, you will discover the power within emotion as we explore Step 6, Part 3,